Hi Floss Tube, it's Julie with Reflections Framing and Stitching. Today is Sunday. It's the 14th of February, which makes it Valentine's Day. I'm Julie. For those of you who don't know, this is Dan, my better half. And we want to welcome you and say Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
We did something stupid today. It's like the coldest it's been since 1983. I think is what
we were traveling.
Yeah. We were traveling when it was this cold again, or the last time, which was 1983. That was at Christmas time, and we traveled home for Christmas from Wyoming, and which was probably not the smartest idea we'd ever had, but we did it anyway.
No.
But today we decided that nobody would be at the Brass Armadillo.
Right, it'd be perfect.
Hmm?
It should have been perfect.
Should have been perfect. Like no other idiots should be out there, right? And it was good when we first got there, but it got crowded. So
There's more people there than a blue light special at Kmart years ago.
It got
How many
really,
people remember the blue light specials?
I do.
I
don't think I ever went to a blue. Did you ever go
I was there
to a blue
while
light? Well, yeah.
they had them, but I never made a point. Hey, they
no.
got blue light specials starting at 2:00. Let's go down to Walmart or to Kmart. Some people did that.
Not me.
No.
Not me. No.
You could have got a moolie one time.
Ooh. We used to have a moolie,
See?
but it didn't come from Kmart or Blue Light Special. So, anyway, welcome. This is going to be kind of a hodgepodge of everything. We got stitching to show you. We've got some antique mall haul to show you. General chit chat. Dan's got some woodworking things. You should get your table.
What table?
The one that you finished.
Oh.
We didn't bring that one over.
All right, I'll bring it over later.
Okay. All right. He finished a little sewing table, or refinished, I should say. So a little bit of everything. We're going to start with the cross stitch so that those of you who are not interested in anything else can
Shenanigans.
Can go and do whatever you're doing on this oh so cold day. Now there's an idiot out there walking their dog.
I was just going to say.
Poor little paws are going to freeze to
They could
death.
go walk their dog.
Huh?
Maybe they want to walk their dog.
Who?
The stitchers out there.
It's too cold to walk your dog.
It is too cold.
Poor
Who
Rags
is
went
it?
outside this morning and she came in. She was limping and she was only out there for like 3 minutes.
Who was it, Al or Steve?
I
or
don't
somebody
know.
else?
I don't know who it was,
Yeah, that's a little.
but they're kind of dragging the
Crazy.
dog behind them. It's way too cold. It's like minus, with the wind chill, it's minus something out there. It's too cold.
It was what, 6 degrees when we left? I think
No.
the car said, yeah,
No, it was minus 6.
-6.
It was minus 6 degrees, and that was the air temperature.
Mhm.
And then with the wind chill, they're saying like minus 30, minus 40. There are colder places.
Tomorrow it's supposed
There
to be.
are colder places. Like Minot, North Dakota. You do not want to be in Minot. But
Why not?
because, don't jiggle the table.
Did you get it?
I got it.
Okay.
I got it, yes. So, okay. Do you want to start with the little, very, very teeny tiny little amount of progress that you have made on your stitching?
Sure.
He has not been
Sure.
stitching, so
Well, some of
there's
it's covered up there, but
not much to show.
I've been working on the border, and I got the W done. Well, pretty much everything is done, except for some back stitching and some words on this part. And then there's the enter that's over here.
It's supposed to say winter. That is winter time from New York Dreaming, and he can't find his chart. I think his
Well,
dog probably ate it.
I have the other half to it. I just don't have the one that shows you the colors.
Uh-huh. I think your
It's a
dog
travesty.
probably ate it. It is what I think happened to it.
I don't know.
I
It disappeared very
She-
quickly because
she
it was
is-
there in the morning and gone in the
she
evening.
has eaten several of my patterns. You wouldn't think it to look at her, but she's a devil dog. Quirky. You know, we were supposed to, when we purchased her, we had signed a paper saying that if she got quirky, we would return her. I would definitely call her quirky,
We're definitely not
but we're
returning.
not returning her. No, she's fun. She's amusing. She is quirky. Okay, so I'll show you. I have worked on a little bit on a lot of things. Mostly, I've been working on my band sampler, which I can't show you yet. But I am to the second to last decorative band is about a third of the way done. And then I have another band of the verse, and then the bottom band, which is a repeat of the top band. And then it will be finished, and I think it's turning out good. What do you think?
Yeah, it looks very professional. Nice.
I like it. I like it. So I'm just going to show you the few things. I also am missing a chart, like the picture of a chart. So
Don't blame my dog.
I think that one's at work. But I will show you what I have. So this is is it our story? What is it? Oh, Our Hearts. Very appropriate for today. That I was going to have done for our anniversary that was in August, which didn't happen. So,
Missed it by a little bit.
missed it. Well, I'm missing it probably maybe next year.
Maybe.
Maybe I'll do this as my 25/7 after my headless bird. Anyway, I don't have a whole lot done. I did the heart, which those are, what are those, Smyrnas or something like that. And then I started on the dude. And that's all I've managed to get done on this one. But it did see a little bit of love. Love, love, love.
At
That's what it is.
25/7, how long would it take you to do it?
It's not a race, Dan. It's not a race. Slow and steady. You know, remember that story about the tortoise and the hare? And who won in the end?
It was close.
The tortoise. It was not close. It was not close. Don't even go there. I worked a little bit on the DMC 250th anniversary. That's what it looks like. Just a very little I worked on this one. So I started this tree over here. I did finish these flowers up here. They all have their centers now. And I started working on this tree. And that's as far as I got. But again, slow and steady, right? I mean, how long you been working on winter?
All winter.
Ever. For freaking ever. This is the Noel sampler from With Thy Needle and Thread. I'm doing mine on a different color of fabric. It looks like this. Brenda's version of it anyway. I'm doing mine on 40 count. I want to say this is, I don't know what color. I don't know.
It looks kind of blue-green.
Well, it's not patina. I don't know who it is. I've got the card somewhere.
Is it copper
If you need to know, I can tell you. But that's my progress. I started putting the mortar in over here. I did a little bit more of the border. I put flowers in here, and I added these flowers. So, and then I did this little part of the house there.
So you were working on border and mortar.
Border and mortar, yes. That is exactly right. This is a 40 count fabric, I do know that. And I had the name in my head before we started, but it gone now.
Copper?
It's not copper.
It looks
It
like,
doesn't look like copper.
looks
It's
like-
blue.
it looks like aged copper.
Aged copper is green.
Yeah,
It's green. Trust me.
depends on what part of the country you're in. Due to the acidity of the rain in certain parts of the country that are more industrial, there's different chemical reactions that cause the copper to turn multi-shades of blue or green.
Okay. Okay. Alrighty. Whatever you say. Alright, this is the one where I don't have the colored picture. I probably have it on my phone. This is from Brenda Key's Sampler Company. It's called All the, good Lord, I can't remember nothing
All this
today.
partial information has
calling-
got to be frustrating for
All
you
the
guys.
calling birds. All the calling blackbirds.
I don't know.
Something like that.
Calling all birds.
Yes. I'm using 40 count Cecil, I know that, which is a seraphim fabric. And, yeah, last night I put in this border across here. I filled in these leaves. And I did I did E, F, and part of G.
Good.
So, that's that one. I think it's all the calling birds sing. I think so. I don't know. And then last but not least, my 25/7. Is my phone in my coat pocket behind this there?
I don't know.
Because I think I have a starting picture I can show where I started. Hold, please.
Do you want to show your Bernie Sanders?
I do not want to show my Bernie Sanders mittens. I wear mittens because they keep your fingers warmer. And I'm always... We didn't get the rocking chair.
Nope. You mean they didn't give it to us?
They didn't give it to us.
Oh.
You're going to have to call them. Because we probably paid for it.
Yeah. Just a little kid rocking chair.
Yes.
Yeah, we used to have very similar one around here for the kids.
Yep. Okay, photos.
It was a nostalgic buy.
It's for the grandkid. Okay. I'm getting there. Talk to them. Entertain them.
What am I supposed to entertain them about?
I don't know. Tell them one of your funny stories. I don't know.
You put me on the spot.
It's usually not an issue for you.
The only one I'm remembering is recently Addie is starting to tell jokes. Addie's only 3 years old, right?
Yes.
But she's
telling jokes?
She's telling jokes, yes.
Okay.
And you can only understand about half of what she says anyway. So I tried to follow the joke, and at the end, it was over, obviously, so I didn't understand the joke. But I just started laughing, and then she started laughing, and Emma started laughing. Then we started telling jokes. Emma started telling a joke, and I told him the joke about. So I said, Emma, what do you call a fly that doesn't have any wings? And she goes, a bug. I said, no, it's a walk. And she looked at me, and I said, because the fly doesn't have any wings, so it can't fly. So you call it a walk. And she just shook her head.
That's probably what everyone out there
Well,
is doing
that's
too.
a good kid joke. Most of my jokes are not real appropriate for my
That's
3 or
true.
5 year old grandchild.
That is true. That is very true. Okay, so so that is where I started on my 25/7. We are 6 weeks into it.
And it still has no head.
But it's not going to have a head until the very end because of Donna. Donna wants me to give my bird a head, and so I won't, because it's just how I roll. If I can play with her, mind a little bit, then I'm going to do it. So that's how far I've gotten. So let's do a comparison. Just a minute. Oh, damn. Okay. Where I am now.
So as usual, the picture doesn't do the real thing justice, does it?
No. And so doing 25 stitches, and I usually only do about 25 stitches, it's making some progress. I do have a problem though. Do you see my problem? Anyone?
What's this brown background here?
That I haven't figured that out myself. I don't know what that is.
It's not showing up on a chart.
Well, it does sort of, but it's done as a strawberry. So, no. The problem is that I have 2 rows of roof on that house, and you can't tell the difference. So I may have to frog my 2 rows and change the color, which will not make me very happy.
I mean, the roof is different in the...
Yes, it's 2 different colors. Can you tell the difference?
Now that you pointed out, but...
No, you can't. So
are these a new item here? These yellow things?
they are kind of a new item. I think most everyone...
Let's switch to Gadget Corner.
That is not our thing. That is their thing. Deb and Liz's thing.
Well, I'm going to steal it today.
They're I don't know, what is that, silicone thing? They got a magnet on both ends. And if you have a lot of fabric, they work great. If you have a little bit of fabric, they're not so great at holding your fabric out of the way. But oops, bird standing on its headless body.
So you can use it as a needle minder too.
Yes, I do kind of use it as a needle minder. There's my needle. So anyway, that's the progress in 6 weeks. I think that's pretty good progress.
Still don't have a head.
It's not. I tell you, I'm going to work all the way around it and put the head in the last.
This is all Donna's fault.
It's all Donna's fault.
Like
Blame Donna.
A lot of things are her fault around here.
It's good. It's good to blame Donna for things like that. It's good for her. So that is my stitching, and that is Dan's stitching. So that ends the cross-stitch portion of the program.
Well, some of these other things are related.
They're related to cross-stitch. Not all of it, but some of them are related to cross-stitch.
Shall we do those for those who are on the fringe of staying around, since it may have something to do with cross-stitch?
Sure.
Before we just jump off the...
We'll talk to the fringe group now.
These are for the fringe group people. Hello, fringies.
All right.
Thanks for staying, fringies. They're fringies.
They're fringies? Okay. Well, raise your hand if you're a fringy.
New term.
Okay. So why don't you fringe them out? Show them your...
Okay, well, the next thing that's right on the edge of fringe is a stitching that I've been working on and have shown, but now my framer has stretched it nicely onto the foam board. We needed to do that to figure out how we're going to mount it. I don't think you guys have seen this yet, but this is the plaque that we're going to mount it on, which was a Hobby Lobby buy, which was a
boat.
It was a painted blue with a white outlined, kind of a blueprint looking schooner boat. That was pretty cool, but sometimes I get a little lazy and decide that instead of building something, I'll just buy something and then
make it work.
Yeah, make it work. So this is spray painted. Actually, I used chalk paint spray, and then put some different colored stain and some glazing wax on it to make it look a little bit aged. I thought, can you hold that and put it together?
I can hold that, yes. This is me holding that.
I thought the colors went pretty good. Oops. With it. Most of the colors are coming out there. So just to kind of give you a little bit of vision on it, Julie's going to put some fringe around the picture itself.
Some sort of trim. I haven't decided what.
And remember, the idea for this is like an old sign hanging off the side of a pub in England or Ireland or Scotland, one of the two, three. So she'll do that, and then I was thinking to fill up the side because, as you can see, it's a lot taller than it is wide. So we have some area to fill in there. And I thought I would use some strap steel, and basically it's a little bit long, so I'm going to run it this way, paint it black, and then I've got some...
I think that,
You wouldn't have to paint it?
I don't think you have to paint it. I think that looks fine.
Yeah, maybe not. And then I've got some old, they're actually cement nails that have a weird head on them,
Mm-hmm.
this rectangular head. So I may just drill a hole through there and put those in there to make it look a little more rustic. So that'll be on each side. And then we'll have probably a piece of wood coming across here like this, with some chain hanging down, holding the sign, and attaching the frame to the wall here. Now, the other thing we were thinking about is we're putting some kind of a scroll up here. You've probably seen those before, you know, on old pub type things. Wrought iron again, make it out of wrought iron, or paint it black probably, or antique it. And then the other epiphany that I had was I thought it might be kind of cool with...
Can I put this down
Yeah.
for a minute? Okay.
So as you can see, on the pattern, we have these multiple luminaries here, candles. So I thought I might incorporate something like this on top of the frame up here, maybe across the top. So I picked up some of these at the antique store today. Actually, I picked up 6 of them. 2 of them this size, 2 of them a little bit bigger, but a bigger base, and then there's some bigger ones too. So somehow maybe incorporate those along the top. And Julie and I were discussing whether keep them brass or paint them black. I don't know. We think both would probably work, but there is brass color on there, gold color on there.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. It may end up not working out. We'll see.
Yeah. So that's the in progress
On the
pub,
fringe.
on the pub plat.
It's on the fringe of cross stitch
Yep.
because it's more woodworking at this point.
And metalworking.
And metalworking, yes.
Okay.
Okay. What else you want to show them?
Well, what's the next closest thing to being fringy
Well,
stitching?
you can show them your little boxes that you're making. Now, last time we showed you the tray that he made out of the yardsticks. Yes, that's the word, yardsticks. And someone had inquired about whether he was going to make any little boxes. And I said, well, we do have little extra pieces parts from making the trays. So I had him see what he could do about making some little boxes. So these are just prototypes. They're not quite ready.
I
But
haven't finished the bottom. I got in trouble for that. But this was just the 2 2¼ inch piece with a little spool. That was Julie's idea. Spool for the top. I had bought some wood knobs, but she didn't like those. So just a simple lid.
so he's going to work on making a couple of these too.
And this one was a little bit bigger. There's some extra pieces.
He likes the red part.
Since the yardstick had the red on it, I just added a red bottom. This one's finished a little bit nicer. And it's not red on the inside.
Nope.
Regular color on the inside.
I think I'd rather have it regular color,
Regular color.
just for my purposes, or tone the red down some, make it
Dirty.
dirty looking. I like dirt.
They're not too bad, but they're kind of a pain to put together. They're just kind of delicate.
But that's why you do a prototype, so you can work these issues out. Like, for instance, we've decided that because this is just glued, these are just glued together. So the potential is there that they could snap apart. So we're going to glue another piece of, like, kind of like what we did here, that would fit inside this, glue it to this, and that way it would provide support for it, so you couldn't accidentally snap that apart.
Yeah, make it a little more substantial.
Yeah. So
So you told them we went to the antique store today, right? Or did you?
we mentioned that we went to the antique store, yeah. We
So
went a week ago, last Friday night, because the antique store has a little thing on their website that tells you whether they're busy or not. And so last Friday night I was looking, and it said less busy than normal. You know, it was way down. So we decided right after work we'd run out there and get some more yardsticks, so he could.
Where are those yardsticks?
They're right there.
Oh, yeah.
So he could work on some more boxes. Well, that was before it turned, into the frozen tundra out there. So he's got some different yardsticks he's going to make some trays and some boxes out of.
I think the black one's going to be cool with the gold on it.
Yeah, I may have to snag that one.
She doesn't like the yellow one that I picked
I don't
out.
like yellow.
What's you guys' opinion on the yellow? Yay or nay? 'Cause it's definitely yellow.
It is yellow. I like the teal one is cool, but the black one is cool. So anyway, we went out after work, and there was nobody there. I mean, it was maybe 2 or 3 other people in the entire mall, and it's a big mall. So it was nice, but coming after a day of work, and it was pretty busy that day, my feet were already tired, so we only made it through half the mall before I said, I'm done. Let's go.
I was tired too.
And I'd picked up 5 yardsticks. By the time I got up to the counter, 2 of them were no longer had their price tag on them. So we only ended up bringing 3 home. And it takes almost a full yardstick to make a tray. So
Yeah, by the time,
you make
Get
the
it all squared
lid
up
and
and
everything,
everything.
yeah. So, so 3 wasn't going to do us a whole lot of good. So I knew that at some point we needed to go back out, and I thought today would be the perfect time because I didn't think anybody else would be stupid enough to go. But hey, they were. So we were there for a couple hours before it got busy, and then we left. So we did the other half of the mall than what we did the week before. So, but it was nice. It was fun. I took some video and some pictures and sent them to Melanie so she could kind of shop with us, which was fun because she doesn't get out much, as you know. So, but we have all of our treasures that we purchased over the last 2 weeks to show you. And Dan has one more wood project to show you.
Why don't you go to the fringe stuff,
Well, okay,
Yeah.
fringe stuff.
your sewing stuff?
Okay, so, well, all of this is fringe stuff except for that. Everything else is kind of sewing,
Go ahead.
stitching related. Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay.
They may not want to see my woodworking and my special new venture. I'm going to let you guys in on something today.
Oh boy, guys. You are in for a treat. All right, so I snagged this old grungy tomato.
Rotten tomatoes.
It's not rotten, it's just old and grungy, and it got some, probably a person could get tetanus off of
Don't
this
even pick it
rusty. So I'm thinking that might have to just be gotten rid of because it is, I mean, they are rusty, and yeah, you could definitely get some tetanus off of that.
But this was more of a save.
That was a save. You got to
Yeah.
save the tomatoes when you see them. So I now have like 2. I need hairspray. I don't find them very often. one thing we did notice, we've been watching Crazy Lamp Lady and a couple other vintage resellers. Our prices at our antique mall are triple what they find in Pennsylvania and Indiana. Things that they're buying for $7 are 28 here. It's craziness.
Maybe we like our antiques here, I guess.
I guess we do. So anyway, so that was a today purchase. Last week I bought this jar full of stitching ephemera. It's got one of these automatic needle threaders. Don't. The box is cool, but don't think it doesn't thread your needle. That's just the second one I have.
You have to be a perfect size needle and a perfect thread.
Dan thought this was an interesting way to store your pins. I think it looks like, those banditos, they wear their things of bullets. is what it reminds me of.
Okay, Conchita.
Had a very rusty little pair of scissors. What else we got in here? What is this? This is a needle threader from, it's an advertising piece, the Farmers Co-op in Iowa Falls, Iowa.
I thought it was a taser.
This is a vintage, what do they call those? For marking your seams or something for sewing.
Leather work for marking the.
Do they?
Yeah.
But it looks good in a jar of stitching ephemera. Got some JP Coats spool cotton. It says on the back, but it's actually quilting needles. I just kind of like the graphics are cool. Little sewing kit. Another pair of rusty scissors. They probably won't even cut paper at this point. Some hook and eye, vintage hook and eyes. Got some of these old wooden needle. It's got something in it. It's a shuttle, but I'm not sure what they were used for. But
a sewing machine, I think.
I don't know. But anyway, they're kind of cool. You can keep your needles in there if you want. So there's like 4 of those in there. This is another So You Don't Forget Fashion Fabrics and Furniture in Aplington, Iowa. It's just a little thing of thread. This one I thought was kind of cool looking. It's from Butler County, Allison, Iowa. I have no idea where that is. It's got a little graphic on it.
Kind of made of what, plastic?
And then it's got little spools of thread. Kind of cool. Clinton Rust Proof Brass and Silk Pins. Looks like that. And that. Another pair of old rusty scissors. These have a little detail on the handles. That one I may see if I can get them sharpened, cleaned up and sharpened.
Mm-hmm.
Another little plastic doohickey with some thread in it. Doohickey, that's a word. More hook and eyes. This is more machine needles, patent cold swagged machine needles. Again, I just kind of like the graphics. This little piece of paper has fallen off of this little piece of paper. And then a needle threader. So What are you doing? Looking at how those are big needles, man.
Goes in the machine, though.
They
Yeah,
are
woodworking.
big needles.
You're working your other machine you got.
Okay, jar. So that came in this jar. I didn't pay a lot for it, so. But it just kind of looks cool sitting down on in the craft room.
Fun to dig in it, see what you got.
It needs a better jar, though. This is not a very interesting looking jar. Okay. All right. The next thing, well, this is I got last week also. I've seen them before at the mall. And this time I just decided to pull the trigger. So it's a tin, but it looks like it's, you know, either needle pointed or cross stitched. I'm sure you've seen them if you've gone into the vintage stores at all. Kind of rusty. I did wash it, but kind of rusty. I'll probably just use it for display piece down in the craft room, but I really like how it looks. Kind of old. Dan had to pry the lid off. I couldn't get it off. I'm afraid to put it back on. She'll never get it off again.
Not my hand.
What'd you use to get it off?
Screwdriver.
Screwdriver.
Uh-oh.
No. I don't know if it's even going to go back on. I'm sure it will, but let's see. So that was the jar, and that was last week. And this week, the fringy things are jar buttons. I just really like the old grungy salt shaker look of the cream colored buttons. So I picked that up. And this is the big thing. This was a little pricey, but it was 20% off. I told Dan it's the start of a new collection.
Good.
So it's a vintage sewing machine. It's very heavy. It's Singer. It actually, you know, will stitch. I wouldn't probably use that needle because it's kind of rusty, and
the foot actually moves down and up too.
foot goes up and down. It's just a cute little thing. I'll just put it on display down in my craft room. Got the nice black little, it says Singer on it. So that one is my Valentine's gift from him to me. He didn't know it at the time. The only other fringy thing, right, is this, right? Which I saw this pink dish. It's a, you know, pink depression glass, and it's got the lace border on it. And I thought, you know, if you found a base to glue that to, you could then put your scissors. There. These are a couple of my Ginger scissors, and they work just perfect in there. And then you can use that for putting your orts in, or you could stitch something and finish it to go in there as a kind of a pincushion look. But it's just a different take on a scissor frog kind of thing that I thought would be cute. So
You gonna tell them how you had to build it, though?
well, I found a candlestick, and I have married them together with a little bit of E6000. So
That was like her third attempt. The first two that she picked out.
they were colorful. They were colorful.
Yeah.
He liked the clear one better. I would have liked to have found another pink piece to marry together, but this is different. It's unique. It's good. I like it. It'll be fine. one last fringy part. This is really getting on the very, very edges of fringe. I found some more petty point dishes, so I picked some up. I got a couple of bowls. They have this pretty little detail here in the bowls. So I got that one. I got a little oval bowl. This is from Crown Potteries Company, made in the USA. The other one's, it's different. It's also Crown Potteries, made in the USA, but they have different edges on them. I found this one, which matches some of the others that I have. This is from Harker Cookingware. It's got some condition issues, like there's a permanent stain there, and there's some on the back, but you know, for display purposes, it's fine. And lastly, I bought a platter. And this is from Crown Potteries again.
And correct me if I'm wrong here, but was I not the first one to find this particular pattern? Like that one at the Goodwill that I gave you for Christmas?
Perhaps, yes.
A bowl?
Perhaps. I don't remember for sure, but
I know that's where I bought it. It was at a Goodwill store, a thrift store. It wasn't Goodwill.
yes. So that's all the stuff that could be considered on the fringes of stitching.
Yep.
So, do you want to show what you bought at the antique show or antique mall?
Well, this one caught my eye just because it's kind of iridescent.
He really likes Carnival glass.
Yeah. And it was in pretty much perfect condition. I don't know how old it is, but
I don't know. It's a Wise Har Moon and Stars Delphite Blue iridescent pitcher.
so it's pretty substantial. It's
It's
like
it's
a water,
heavy.
like a water
yeah,
pitcher.
it's like a water pitcher. It's really pretty though, and he really liked it, so it came home with
It was
us.
decent price too.
Yeah, it was only like $20 plus 20% off. So
Mhm.
math, you do it. Not me.
$16.
Okay. I'm going to show the last couple of things that I have,
Okay.
and then you can talk about your other stuff there. Okay? All right. So a couple more glassware things that I found. I found this lusterware bowl from Germany, which I just thought was pretty. I don't know that I'll do anything with it, but I thought it was pretty, and the price was right, and there's no chips or cracks or.
Yeah, that one was marked down already.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
$6.
$6.09.
And then 20% off of that. So I figured, why not? It's pretty. I'll find something to do with it or display it somewhere.
No chips or anything.
No chips.
Doesn't look like it sits level though.
Well, you know. Or our table isn't, one of the two. Little backstory on this next piece is I like red and white transferware dishes, and the bathroom that's on the other side of this wall is actually done in red and white, and we upholstered the ceiling with some toile fabric in red and white. It's tufted. It's really kind of cool.
It gets a lot of comments. Like, what the hell is
And-
that?
And so I have some red and white transferware dishes on the wall in the bathroom. So I found this one, which is a different shape from what I normally
Does it match?
have.
Yep.
No, I think it's different. I have just kind of a few different brands. This one is a Johnson Brothers, and it's from their Mill Stream line. But I liked the shape, and it's not very big, and so I thought I would add it Yeah.
A little different color too.
Yeah, this one's a little different. This is from Spode. And this is not vintage. This was purchased, I don't know, in some TJ Maxx or something like that. I just saw it and liked it. So the color's a little bit different, but I don't care. So I got that. And then, hey, Dano, no, I don't know if I got it. Never mind. My mother-in-law gave me a little Christmas tree shaped dish a couple years ago for Christmas. And it was this pattern, also Johnson Brothers, the Millstream pattern. And so I bought a couple of these because I liked them. So I don't know what I'll do with them. Probably put them in the hutch back here and display them. But I just like them. I like dishes. Dishes, and more dishes. I like them. So that's everything that I have to show you. Dan has a couple more woodworking things and then a story. So, over to you, Dan.
All right, so my middle child, Abby, sent an email with a picture attached. Can you build me this? And it was just a Pinterest screenshot, and it was a heart-shaped, I don't know what you call it, something?
It's a riser.
A riser.
For display purposes.
So I said, well, yeah, but I'm going to need some dimensions. So she sent me some overall dimensions of what the one was. So I says, yeah, I can build that, but let me look around, see what I have. So fortunately, out in the garage, I already had this 2-inch chunk of ambrosia maple. We might have talked about ambrosia maple before, but you can kind of see the holes in there. That is from the ambrosia worm getting in there and boring through, and the worm also causes the striping of the wood here too from the acids from it or whatever. And then, of course, this looks pretty much like the picture that she sent me for the legs. I had to glue them up and then turn them down. And the challenge there, it's not too hard to turn the leg, but it is kind of challenging to get them all looking the same.
I think they look like, elongated nipples. But what can I say?
That's kind of why I'm fondling them so much.
Of course.
Anyway, she hasn't picked it up yet, and it's going to go in some kind of a tray or something for displaying.
For displaying stuff. Yep.
So if you get to know me real well, you might get something free out of me. I like to make stuff for people. I made a gun cabinet for my dad, and then he turned around and sold it. But
he's a little bitter about that.
then he made it on walnut too.
You. Okay. It's not going to sit fully on there, but.
Well, Julie wanted me to show you this. This was a table with some cool turn legs on it and a couple drawers in it.
Drawers that open. Good for storing stuff. And then this opens up. We still don't quite know what these were used for.
Somebody might know out there. Obviously, it was a sewing cabinet of some kind.
I think.
We believe. Because it
got
has
this tray that comes out.
I think there's
With these
little nibs there for the thimbles.
Nibs. Those probably are for thimbles. I don't know. And probably these are for spools of thread. But again, I'm not exactly sure. But anyway, it was in kind of rough shape when he picked it up at the thrift store.
Well, $7.50. That tells you what the condition was. But it was all made out of this brown. Not sure what the wood was, but the top of it was actually made of walnut. those of you guys that have watched some of me before, walnut is one of my favorite woods. So I did sand, and fortunately it was not a veneer, it was a actual solid piece of walnut. So I did sand that down and refinished it, but kind of shabby chic everything else. Painted it all white, and then just kind of chipped off some of the paint.
He likes to make them chippy.
Yep. Chippy goodness.
Picked up some, it didn't have any handles,
No.
knobs, so he picked those up at, were those Hobby Lobby?
No, those were from Lowe's.
Lowe's?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, they're metal.
So, I thought it turned out nicely.
Yep.
So that's what he's been doing, but it's a little bit chili burritos out in the garage right now, so I don't think he's going to be working out there for a
I
while.
haven't done much lately. No.
No, the garage is not heated, so hasn't been working out there. So that's pretty much our adventures for the last couple of weeks and what we've been working on. And family is all doing well. Reese fell against their fireplace, and oh, you still have that.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Okay. Fell against the fireplace and split her lip open, and she's got this big fat lip right now. She had her 1-year birthday. I forgot Dan still has his other story, so I'm gonna scoot back over to him. And
Yep, this is the other thing that I purchased at the antique mall.
it has a fuzzy bunny tummy.
It's a book, okay? It's a book about bunnies. So I'm gonna give you guys some background on one of my schemes, one of my plans here. You might be on the front end of, somebody before they became famous.
Meaning he thinks
Yeah,
he's
probably gonna happen here
he's
for
going to be famous. Yeah, yeah.
I've had this idea for a while, and I think it's finally starting to come to fruition with a little bit of help. So I was a B/C student in high school until I was a senior. Then I found out I'm going to college, and I need to kind of get my grade point up. So I did apply myself a little bit. The only classes I did the B's in was industrial arts and PE. Other than that, science, math, English, no, I wasn't too good at that. But when I entered the creative writing class as a senior in high school, the first thing that we had to do was to write a kid's story. And I don't know, just something happened, and I came up with this story called Barney the Big-Eared Baby Bunny. And that thing has followed me around for 50 years because I used the same story in college in my English class and got an A on it. I got an A on it in high school. I think Abby or Amy used it in school for something.
I don't know.
But so anyway, I did take some. I was telling the story to my granddaughter Emma, and I got about halfway through Barney the Big-Eared Baby Bunny, and she got bored. So that wasn't a good sign. But I think she's just too young to appreciate the real meaning of the story. But I did go into PowerPoint, and I actually kind of wrote out the story and put some storyboards. Huh? Storyboard?
Oh, there's a big word.
That's an industrial term.
Okay.
So,
All
a
right.
play on the storyboard.
Got it.
All right.
Got it.
So I actually did kind of put some. Yeah, I'm a terrible artist. That's why I'm a CAD person, because you let the computer do all the drawing for you. But I kind of stole some clip art and put the story together, and I need to find somebody to kind of do the illustration for me, and then I think we're on our way.
Mm.
So I might talk to Abby about it, because obviously Reese could really appreciate the book if I were to do it. But I like this because it gave me an idea. Barney the Big-Eared Baby Bunny. I like the shape of the book. I like the Pat the Bunny book. Pat the Bunny.
Mm. Yeah.
So there's a lot of good ideas that just kind of, hey, you gotta get going on this Barney the big-eared
Yeah.
baby bunny. So
Yeah, if we want to enjoy the millions that you make off of this.
yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
keep informed on that one. I'll let you know how it's going, but it's really starting to come together.
That is amazing.
Um,
And you knew him when?
Yeah.
Before he got famous.
And I mean, it's all about, loving somebody even though they're different. I mean, how appropriate is that right now? You know? Bullying, it kind of is on about bullying. Bullying is bad, so, well, yeah, it's
Lots of good lessons.
lots of good lessons in it.
Yeah.
So we just gotta pull this all together. But I do appreciate for $2.25 this inspirational Barney, the big-eared baby bunny book.
Here we go. Here we go.
There you go.
Now that idea is out there.
I know, I should have them sign a disclaimer before you watch this.
Probably.
I
Yeah.
want to put that on there.
Yeah.
But I didn't tell them the story, though.
No. You kind of gave them an idea, though.
Mm-hmm.
They might take it and run with it.
That's,
Get it published before you ever do.
it's deep. I don't think they'd be able to. I don't think they'd be able to pull it together.
Okay.
There's a lot of twists, a lot of character building that has to take place. 7 pages long.
No wonder. Got bored.
I got the eye roll from her just from Abby.
Yeah.
There's always Addie.
There's always Addie. Yeah. Addie's usually up for anything.
Yep.
Yeah. But is that everything now?
That's everything.
That's everything. We got everything. We're done. So just quick life updates. Everyone's doing okay. Yeah, Reese got split her lip open, but Addie and Emma are doing fine.
Pat the bunny.
I that's okay. I don't really think I need to pat the bunny. We got another few days in the deep freeze, and then it's supposed to start gradually. By next weekend, I think we're up into the 20s and lower 30s. So it'll feel balmy after this. But really, if you get to 0 degrees,
Yeah, but
it's just cold.
Today just feels worse than any other day, though.
That's because we have a little bit of wind.
Yeah.
But it's just cold. Period.
We question why our other daughter is deciding to move back to Nebraska, coming from North Carolina.
'Cause she loves us. So, plans for the rest of the day. I think I'll probably make some tortilla soup for supper and do some stitching. So I think what I'll do. What about you?
I don't know. I could cut some yardsticks. I could.
That would require going out into the
Yep,
garage.
might have to.
It might be a little cold.
Do some stitching, bend some metal. I could do lots of different things.
Okay. You're still working on your train that I gave you, right?
Now and then. Emma and Addie came over and we set up in Julie's craft. Have they seen your craft room or did
Yeah,
they?
I did the. Yeah.
So Emma and Addie were in there. This is pretty cool. Can we play in here? I said, well, we can set up coloring and painting for you guys, and I'll work on my train. So we were all sitting around her table and did our little crafting thing for a while. It was kind of fun.
Was that when Emma remarked about how bright the room was?
Yeah.
That was kind of funny. You should tell them that.
I don't remember the whole.
Well, you were going to replace the light bulb.
Yeah. She said something about it. This is one of the brightest rooms I've ever been in. Why do you need to fix that? She's 5 years old. You need to fix that for her. It's already the brightest room I've ever been in.
Yeah, that was funny.
There are a lot of can lights. When we renovated it, we made sure we had enough.
I like a lot of light when
There's
I'm
probably
working.
20 can lights down there.
I don't know that there's 20.
Remember, there's along the side.
Well,
too.
there is along the side, but there's a lot. It's a nicely lit room, but there was a dark spot in it, so it needed fixing. So I think that's all we have. Oh, I did want to talk a little bit about the Needlework Expo. Like I mentioned before, I am registered. So if you happen to see anything out there that you can't live without, I'd be happy to order it for you. I am putting some sneak peeks on the website under, I think if you go under shop, and then there's a separate thing for the Needlework Expo. I'm not going to put the little teeny tiny snippets like I do for Nashville, just because it's a lot of work to download a picture, upload a picture, get it onto the website, and then the next day they change the snippet to a different corner of it. So I'm only putting things that they've shown the full picture of it, and I try and check it every couple of days and update that page. So keep track on that. The expo is the 3rd through the, is it the 3rd through the 6th? Something like that. It's the beginning of March. And again, I'm happy to accept pre-orders for anything that you see that you want. Otherwise, make sure you order from your LNS. I know things are getting a little bit easier, but things are still rough out there for small businesses. So support your local LNS. Well, that's a double thing. Support your LNS if you possibly can.
And buy a kid's storybook.
Buy a kid's storybook. You weirdo. So, with that, this is over an hour long, so I think we'll end it here. And hopefully I will get a chart of the day video this week. Every time I was going to do it last week, it got busy in the shop, so I never got it done. So hopefully this week, I like it being busy, so I don't want to hope that it's not busy, but hopefully I will be able to make some time for that. Otherwise, you guys take care, get some stitching done, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
I can't shut it off.